Hey there, Leo. This is a general reading for April 2022. We're going to be taking a look at messages from your subconscious. We're going to be looking at messages about expansion and growth. And then also we're going to be looking at potential for new beginnings. There are a few things going on in April that are pretty interesting. There is the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction, which really allows for dreaming big and, kind of sky's the limits type of potential. For Neptune, it's a planet that rules imagination, dreams, intuition, mysticism. Jupiter is all about expansion and growth, abundance, even, growth in a spiritual or higher learning sense. And then there are two new moons in April, one on the 1st and one on the 30th. So two opportunities for new beginnings. So let's see what the cards say for you. We have, as a message from your subconscious, connect to source. Go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. So basically, in terms of going within, it seems that it would have to do with intuition, feelings, and really kind of recognizing maybe even an underlying of some spiritual dreams or spiritual guidance of those dreams. You have the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. So it really seems there is some instability right now in perhaps some goals you're trying to achieve, something that you're trying to learn, maybe even studies, maybe it's a new job. We'll go into clarification, but it seems that there's some things that need to be kind of smoothed out or recognized. With the 5 of Wands, it's usually just inconsistencies in or conflicting goals. If there are other people around you, kind of just they want to do things their way, you want to do things your way, and it's really, part of figuring things out, growing pains. With the 5 of Swords, it's more about not knowing when to walk away when it's a lose-lose situation. So it seems that if there is a goal that you're trying to accomplish, the way you're going about it right now isn't really going to get you there. So we'll look into that. In terms of your potential for expansion and growth, you have Spirit Guardian of Winter, Retreat. So it's, also similar to this go within comment, it's really having you kind of take some time for yourself in the sense of needing to gather your resources, gather your strength, your energy, so that you can kind of, during this time, be alone, take care of yourself. You have the 9 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, and the 4 of Pentacles. So what I'm sensing here is something about you being independent and you being able to feel accomplished really is kind of intertwined with a sense of self-insecurity that perhaps has to do with your inner child, maybe something that you learned growing up, but we will look at that as well. In terms of new beginnings, you have this community card, which is kind of understanding that you really can't do things alone. You know, even this card, this connected to source that says go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. The going within and even the retreating is about figuring out yourself and recognizing that you are connected to the universe. You're connected to people. What you do matters. How you interact with other people, and you know what you create or don't create with others matters. But it seems that you need to kind of take some time to really understand this within yourself. So it seems that this new beginnings community aspect is the ultimate goal, but there are steps to kind of get there. You have the 7 of Cups, you have the 4 of Cups, and then you have the 9 of Wands. So 7 Cups is kind of about fantasies, because it's coupled with the 4 of Cups, which is also about just like not feeling you're getting what you want. It's almost as if you feel like if you do things with other people, you're gonna have to do most of the work, or you're gonna feel like you're gonna have to defend yourself. So it's almost as if your view of interacting with others, it's a competition. And over here, the 5 of Wands is about competing, but it's like healthy competition. But any type of instability, it's almost as if you're kind of, this is the way I'm going to do it, and really not knowing when to bend. And in that sense, feeling that you have to be the one that holds up everything. So let's take a look at the 5 of Wands over here in this message from your subconscious area. You have the 10 of Pentacles. So it does seem like this is about maybe if there's a job that you're doing, how you can work with others to kind of get things done, how everyone can kind of succeed. If it's maybe it's like if there's partnerships, even like group projects, but basically it might be just life in general that like somehow maybe you didn't learn how to play nice. So let's look at the 5 of Swords over here. You have the Princess of Swords. So it could be, it's like a sense of, you know, when the kid that gets a new toy and just like pulls it out. I'm thinking of a place where I'm just swinging it all over the place, just like I'm gonna do this and that, and you know, really doesn't know how to play with others or have that imagination. So it's more like they just wear themselves out, or you know, maybe someone's like, let me see, and they're like, no, it's mine, and like just smacks them with it. So it's a sense of like wanting to experience and know things, but not really allowing room for other people to have the experience unless it's the experience that you give to them, which isn't always a grand experience. Let's look at the Page of Pentacles. You have the Six of Swords, which is about healing and transitions. So it could be, for some of you, maybe when you, something you learned in school, or maybe it's some kind of sense of self-value, but it seems like it is not yet resolved. So yeah, you're kind of like you're wanting to grow up and have the things that you want and be your own person, and maybe you grew up, you know, too soon, in the sense of like you were, you know, trying to do everything on your own and didn't want to accept help, or you know, that's kind of what I'm sensing. And it says here that you need to create the shift required to attract what you want. So there's some shift that needs to be made when it comes to competition, achieving goals, and kind of that will lead to a certain sense of self-worth, where it's, you might even come to realize you don't have to try to have other people recognize you're the best, or you don't have to have it so everyone agrees with you in order to be a confident, capable, responsible individual. So let's look at what this, in order to expand and grow, the message to retreat. Let's take a look at the Six of Cups here, since we have the Six of Swords over here. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So I do think there's some connection between your like inner child, some part of you that has a sense of how the world's supposed to work, and you feeling competent, protected, business savvy, managing your life as an independent adult type of thing. Let's see about this Nine of Pentacles then. You have the Six of Wands. So I do think that you have been able to accomplish success in your life. And because of your ability to do that, it might be that you're not recognizing this inability to really work well with others, or bend or accept things differently. Let's take a look at the Four of Pentacles. You have the Ace of Wands. So I do think in terms of this retreating, taking stock of what you have to offer, taking stock of what others have to offer, your sense of security, where that kind of stems from, maybe even doing some inner child work. Basically, I feel like you will be able to recognize the source of your need for security and create some change, a new life, a new kind of way of doing things, a new direction to go. And with community, let's take a look at the Four of Cups. You have the Ace of Pentacles. And I'm kind of sensing that as this concept of not, kind of like not satisfied, but that you actually, this could be seen as a gift from the universe, but it's also kind of you have to accept that gift, or you have to do something with it. And so it's as if you have to take responsibility for your situation. And usually with the Four of Cups, it's about finding gratitude wherever you can. And since this is in the New Beginnings community, gratitude for your coworkers, how they do help you. Maybe your managers, supervisors, partners, how they do help you accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, maybe not the way that you want. Or that you even have someone that is willing to hear you complain, if that's the case. So let's look at the Seven of Cups here. You have the Five of Wands. So it's as if your like conflicts over here also with others kind of stems from this conflict within yourself of not exactly knowing what it is that you want. And that can also be why it feels like with this Nine of Wands, you're really kind of exerting a lot just to kind of stay upright, because trying to figure out what you want without all by yourself, where you are kind of not recognizing how you fit into the larger picture, can probably feel a lot, pretty overwhelming. So let's clarify that. These two wanted to come out. Okay. You have the Seven of Swords and the Lover's card. So it's almost as if the decisions that you're making for the long term are not for anybody's, it's not for a mutual benefit. Any type of unions that you're making, connections that you're making, there's something that is, maybe you think they're gonna, do something behind your back. Perhaps they're not being upfront and honest, but it seems that whatever endeavor you're going into, there's a certain side of you that really is not letting everyone see what's really there. And it could be because, with your Seven of Cups, you're not really seeing what's there as well. But in the end, I would say part of the journey of life is connecting with people in platonic ways, romantic ways, business agreements, and exchange of energy, exchange of money, affection, all those things. And right now it seems you are kind of trying to go under the radar with your approach to things. I mean, like the with your own self even. So pretty deep, dream big month of April for you, Leo. Hoping this provides a helpful perspective of things, to get an overall picture of your month, be sure to check out your readings for sun, moon, and rising signs. We'll see you next time. Take care.